No, we pay for it. The youth center, when you take a kid through all 7 books, we pay for that outing. To go out for ice cream, you know, you got about $5 a person. And we're not talking about going to like Red Lobster. You know, we're not talking about going to Red Lobster. We're talking about like steak and shake, a meal for $5. If you want to splurge after that $5 meal, you know, hey, shakes are on me, you know, in a Bible. That's what we're talking about. So. Anyone else? Do you guys have any questions about any segment, any section, any thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, I think it's a really good point that you brought up about the person praying themselves. Now, I had the soul winning and so forth that we've been doing in the past. We always gave them a repeat after me prayer. But that's really profound what you said about when it comes from the person. It is an act of faith. It is truly an act of faith because they have to actually believe that they're actually talking to somebody that's listening and that he hears them and he's going to respond. Yeah. And I think that's a really good point. And I'm going to change my soul in tactic to that initially. You know, if they're not unwilling to pray or something, maybe I might repeat after me prayer. But that's a really good point.
I'm usually very hesitant, and I'd like to say that was mine. It's actually my wife's observation. I'll give credit where credit's due. My wife made that point to me one day. She said, you know, I find it very interesting that a lot of the young people that I've prayed with through the years, if I pray the prayer and they repeat after me, they seem to walk away really fast. But the ones who are really okay, they're hesitant, but they're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'll do it. I can pray. That they usually take that step more seriously. And again, it's not foolproof. It's not like we got any statistics on it, but it's just an observation that my wife has made, and subsequently through the years, I have also made that same observation. So, and especially if you can get a young person right away, like the moment you witness to that person at CYC, you know, that you can get them one of these live in Christ, Guess What Happened to Me book, you can put that in their hands. That's a great tool. We also have the Book of Hopes. We have a ton of them still back there that we like to give to people, you know, as another tool. It's like a Bible study tool because the Live in Christ books maybe are like 2-3 days you're done with these, you know. So I think it's kind of cool to give them something else, another tool for them to have. We give them the Books of Hope. So we have tons of those. So anybody else? Any thought?
I think if they're hesitant and they just, I can't pray, I can't do it, you take them back to Romans 10:9 there, and you just say that if you confess with your mouth Jesus is Lord, that's all you have to say, and then believe it in your heart. The last part of the verse, and it's, you know, I think you're emphasizing the importance of the Bible and as God's, you know, inerrant word, and that you're saying that this is what you need to do. And it's more meaning to that. You know, confession is your own words. It's not me telling you what your words are.
Yeah, very good point. What I would suggest is that you guys, you can go, if you keep an eye at the Christian bookstore, these are always on sale. They're these little full Testament Bibles. Now, some of y'all will be like, I can't see those little words. Pastor, and I'm getting that way too, like where I'm like, okay, this is getting a little more irritating. But, so if you want the big boy Bible, bring them. But what I'm saying is, it's good for you guys to have the notes, like take these little tabs. You can get them, like Bic makes them or something, and they're little like peel on and off tabs, and they come in different colors. And it's cool. You can write in the verse, and it gets to the point where I have memorized the walking someone through the 10 Commandments. I've memorized that section. Romans Road, I'm still like, okay, I'm still fumbling through the notes that I have made, but to memorize those, and then any Bible, anywhere, you can walk someone to the Lord through that,
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's helped me through the years that I put the first verse on the inside leaf of my Bible, first page, and then after each verse, I put this next verse to go to.
Like the next
just write it next to the verse, right next to that.
That works.
And so it just leads you right down the road.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like to really combine the 10 Commandments with the Romans Road. I've seen it to be very effective with a lot of young people and really showing them we are not good. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. You're not good enough. None of us are good enough. this is the truth of God's word. We have sinned. All of us have sinned. You know, and we have shown you this is God's standard. Our pastor says, how do you know what's an inch? Because there's a standard. There's a standard of an inch. If we didn't have that, people would be building houses all crazy. You'd have one carpenter coming in saying, well, I think this is what an inch is. And then another carpenter coming in, well, I think this is what an inch is. And you just are guessing at things. You know, there's no standard. You know, and it's cool that even in Guatemala, when we were down there, we couldn't speak the language, but they could tell us, because they had a standard, what something was, and we could generally figure it out. Why? Because we had a standard. There's a standard. There's laws that are throughout.
Mr. Matt Jones,
You know? Yeah. So, anyone else? Any other questions, thoughts, feelings? Wes?
Well, if we're going to lead people to the Land of Christ series, and we go through them, then I need all 7 books.
I just said we're going to order them. We're all out of book 1. We'll get all 7 of them, and you need to go. You personally need to go through those. Those are your copies to keep. Put your name on them, and then put them in a good, safe place. Don't let them become floor mats on your car, and so that then you have them ready when you need to walk someone through.
Well, when we get a boy or girl that are going to go through the Alive with Christ, we give them their own set of books, don't we?
Correct. You give them book 1 when they go through
One at a
book 1.
time.
They get book 2 when they go through book 2. They get 3. So yeah. Sometimes I'll give them. It depends on the student too. Like after I gave Tony book 1 and Chewy book 1, they were like going through those pretty quickly. So I was just giving them like 3 books at a time because they were going through them fast enough. And you'll find that out. I mean, we don't really set rules really hard, set in stone. The only rule that we really set in stone is like, don't go in a room with a girl by yourself, you know, don't take a girl home by yourself, you know, those type of things. Even when you take a boy, even guys when you take boys home, you can never emphasize this enough. In this day and age, take 2 of them. I'm serious, take a leader with you because you never know. So even gender on gender doesn't mean anything these days. So, yeah, George.
I forgot. I'm sure. It must have been important.
What's up?
We're not going to do them together.
What time is it?
It's
7:43.
7:43. Do you really think that you guys need to practice on one another, or do you think that you generally
I think I've been through it a few
can
times.
get it? Yeah, I think you guys can generally get it on your own.
I was trying to talk about the books. Because like when we did it, like 4 years ago, we did them together, like before CYC started, but I know we're doing our own devotions.
Yeah, no, I want you guys to do that. We got a different devotional that would become overwhelming, so we're going to go through the 1-year chronological Bible.
Where do those come in?
We have to still order them, but they'll come in like a day or 2 from Christian.
I heard Pete really wants to give his testimony today.
I heard that the chronological Bible.
Horrible.
I've quit it twice.
How did finals
quit it.
go?
I like the 1-year Bible, just the regular 1-year Bible.
It's a 1-year chronological.
I know, the 1 year is, the regular 1 year is so much better.
Yes.
They're so hard to
You
read.
gotta be-
Even Rick quit on it.
Wow.
Can we get
Wow.
the big print?
That's what we're ordering. We liked it. I liked it. I loved it. What version did you get? The kind that Kara has?
NIV.
This is a different one. There's a couple out there, and I didn't like
It's
a
the one
lot.
that First Christian made their drive with
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
No, Kara has the same one I have, and I really like that chronological Bible. And I looked at several of them, and several of them were horrible. But this one's a New Living.
The New American Standard?
It's the Bible. It's
Or
just
New
the
Living.
Bible, but
Yeah,
the
it's the layout, the format. I don't, those what I did.
yeah, the one that I did is it gives you the dates, like the dates all line up, and like it has a timeline and stuff, and the prophecies match up and stuff. I liked it a lot. So
So we're gonna start in the middle of the year then?
I have one, but I don't.
yeah,
Must be better than mine because everybody who's got mine never made it through it.
yeah. We're gonna start. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you guys. I'll explain this when they come in. We've got this figured out. So, all right, cool, good. Yes, do you got something?
I was just going to ask if Peter had a testimony.
Yes, no, man.
Pete does have a testimony, and we can do this. We have lots of newsletters that have to go out, and since you guys are here, I'm going to utilize you guys. So why don't we do this? I'll let Pete get up there and give his testimony,
Okay.
and I'll put the video camera on him so that it's on tape, and then we can do our newsletters while Pete does his testimony. And then when Pete's done, then we'll get something to eat. So.